Hello, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, whenever you're watching this. Welcome to Lesson 1 of Remote Learning, 5th grade Social Studies. You remember me from school. Well, I have tried to recreate our learning environment as best as I can in a different location, namely my living room. As you look up here, you'll see the world map and the calendar and a small whiteboard. Some of these items should look familiar. Today we will be discussing how the United States Senate functions. In this video, you will learn a little bit about the U.S. Senate. Some of it will be familiar, some of it will be new. Your job will be, after watching this video, to click on the links below for more information about the U.S. Senate and answer some questions that I will provide for you. Also, you may comment, as some of you have been doing over the weekend, to ask about things you don't understand and things you might want to know more about. You can talk to each other or you can talk to me. Will we be doing live streaming? Perhaps in the future. But for now, I thought I would try out making a video and then posting it like this. We learned that back in 1776, the United States declared independence from the United Kingdom, and a war ensued called the American Revolution. Well, the United States won that war after 8 years, and the United States became an independent country. And we learned that the United States was governed by a document known as the Articles of Confederation, which did not work because individual states had too much power. Long story short, a constitution was created instead in 1787 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And when the Constitution was written, 3 branches of government were created: the legislative, executive, and judicial branches. The role of the legislative branch is to make laws, raise money, and spend the money as they see fit. But a dispute broke out at the convention between those who wanted one branch, one house legislative branch, unicameral, where the more people you had, the more members you'd get. And the smaller states wanted equal representation for all states. And we learned that a compromise was reached, and the Congress was split into 2 houses: the House of Representatives and the Senate. In the House of Representatives, it would be based on population. In the Senate, all states would be equal, with 2 members. So today, our focus is the Senate. In order for a law to be passed, as you know from your homework, you must get approval in the House of Representatives and the Senate, and then it must be signed by the President. The Senate, however, has more power in certain ways. It only has 100 members, whereas the House has 435 members. So it's a smaller group. A smaller group meaning it has more power for its members. Also, in the House of Representatives, there are strict rules about how long a person can get up and give a speech for. In the Senate, the rules are much less strict. People can give very long speeches. Everybody wants to be heard, and it can go on for a very long time. In fact, in the Senate, there's a very important strategy that people can use in order to block a law from happening. And this actually took place just about an hour ago, last night, a few hours ago. And this is called a filibuster. And there you see it. A filibuster is when a senator talks for as long as he or she wants in order to stop a bill from happening. The only way to stop a filibuster is to get cloture. Cloture means the filibuster is over and you can move on to the next stage of the debate. But cloture requires 60 votes. If you don't get 60 votes, the debate is not over. And you can't move on to the actual debate on the real bill, and you can't vote on the bill. Well, last night, the Republicans put out a bill that they say will help the economy deal with the coronavirus crisis. And the bill was talked about, and last night was the vote for cloture. They needed 60 votes. Now, there's 53 Republicans and 47 Democrats in the Senate on a normal day. But the coronavirus has actually come to the Senate. So, as you can see here, the Senate is supposed to be 53-47, which means if all 53 Republicans voted for cloture, 7 Democrats would have had to join. Sorry about that. Try that one more time. And maybe a mug would help. Very good. Well, due to the coronavirus, about 5 senators weren't even in the chamber last night. Rand Paul from Kentucky was diagnosed with the coronavirus. 4 others are not sure if they have it, so they are self-quarantining. They weren't there. So only about 94 members voted last night. They still needed to get to 60 votes to get cloture, but they only got 47 votes. So cloture failed, which means the bill will not be advanced in the Senate. Even if it did advance in the Senate, they would still have to vote for the actual bill tomorrow. Now, I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. First, they talk about the bill. Then they vote for cloture, 60 votes or more, so that they can go to the real vote on the bill. And then, even if they approve it, it's not a law yet. Then they have to give it back to the House. The House may have a different bill that they want. They have to make it the same. Then they have to vote on it, and then they have to give it to the president. Now, normally, this process can take days, weeks, months. But right now, we don't have days, weeks, or months because we are in the coronavirus pandemic crisis. We need a bill. We need it now. The bill is supposed to provide billions of dollars all over America to help people. So why couldn't they all agree tonight? Why the vote? Why was it 47 last night? Why was it 47-47? Because Democrats and Republicans have different priorities of where they want that huge amount of money to go. And the Democrats did not like the Republican bill, and that's why they did not vote for cloture. What are the consequences of this? What are the results? Because we talk about cause and effect. One immediate effect was that the stock market, the futures, went immediately down because the business people are watching to see if there's going to be help and for the economy. And when they saw that the cloture failed, the stock market began to crash last night. It will open this morning at 9:30 a.m., so we'll see what the effects will be on the stock market. But it is a very, very strange time that we're living in right now. You're watching this at home. I'm teaching this from my home. It is a very strange time. That's why it's more important than ever to understand how government works. So in conclusion, the Senate and the House are part of the legislative branch. The legislative branch is called Congress. So make sure you remember that. And it is their responsibility, not President Trump's, not the Supreme Court's, it is their responsibility to get the money out to the people. They have to vote for it. And right now, they have failed to do that as of last night. So your assignment today is find out more information about what a filibuster is. How does a filibuster work? How does cloture work? Why is the Senate so important? I want you to research that today. We don't have a scheduled time like a normal school day, so you have plenty of time to complete it. But I do want this assignment completed by the end of the school day. 240. And if you have any questions or comments, please post them, ask them, and I will be of assistance to you. I hope you enjoyed this first 10-minute lesson on the Senate. It's very interesting to be teaching this way, and I hope moving forward it brings you more and more learning success throughout the rest of the year. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your assignment.